Hello, this is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have a video for you on the Joy Clair YouTube channel. So let's jump in. So I did opt to lay out my images in Photoshop, and I did layer them together there, as you can see. If you want to watch some other people lay out digital images, there are some other videos on this channel about how people lay them out. Personally, I like to use Photoshop to lay mine out, but any program that you can manipulate images would work. And because I have a inkjet printer, I did have to Copic color this. I am on the market for a laser printer, so if you know a good one, please let me know. But yeah, so I did choose to Copic color this. And I'm going to tell you what colors I used. So for my Copics, I'm going to use E57 and E27. That was on the trunk of the tree there. And then I used N1 and N3 just to color in the penguin's glasses. And then I have R08 and R24 for the penguin's hat. And then I have YR14 and YR17. I'm going to bring those in a little bit, and that's going to be the beak and his feet on the penguin. And then my snow, I'm just going to kind of outline my snow, and I've got B01, B00, and BG000. So it's going to be a very subtle color, but I wanted it to be blue because I kind of figured that's what it would look like, and you'll see it here when I get to the background. But so yeah, I just kind of went in with subtle colors, and I'm doing very simple blending, not too much shading, nothing too difficult, and it just kind of looks really pretty in the end, I think. So I am just shadowing in the snow, and then I'm going to blend it out a little bit with my other colors. And I really wanted the snow to be white, but have this kind of blue tinge to kind of just look a bit cool. That was kind of my aim there. And then you can see here I did bring in the YR14 and the YR16 just to color in the beak and the feet on my penguin. And so I'm going to bring in my mini snips, and I'm going to trim this out. I really wanted to do a oxide blended background, so I fussy cut this out with a small white border around it because I'm going to change the background. I didn't want it to be a one layer card, which I know is rare for me, but I really wanted to have a bit of dimension. So I'm going to fussy cut this out, which in this image is very simple. I mean, it's really just going around the tree. And I'm not going to do it on camera, but I also did bring in my craft knife, and I did cut out the little piece that's between the penguin and the tree trunk. I did that off camera because my head would have been in the way and you wouldn't have seen me do it anyway, but I did do that piece as well so that it wouldn't really be in the way, because that would have looked a bit odd. So I did start out with a piece of blue cardstock, and then I brought in 3 colors of oxide just to blend around. I'm going to create kind of a halo of color. You're not going to see the light blue cardstock in the final image because I went a bit heavy-handed into the center there, but I still think it looks pretty cool. So, I mean, it took away the lightest color a little bit, but I think it kind of gives like a bit of a glow effect, which is kind of what I was trying for. So for my oxide colors, I have Salty Ocean, Chipped Sapphire, and Black Soot. And I really like to finish with Black Soot, just because the black kind of gives you a bit more, for lack of a better term, drama on the outside. Like, it just darkens it up, so it kind of really creates a lot of pop from your other colors. So I kind of like to use that when I go around the outside of images, just to add a little bit more color, a little more I guess drama is the best term I can think of. But and then you can see there I got a bit of ink on the center. It doesn't matter because my tree is going to cover it up, so it doesn't really matter that I kind of transferred it from my fingers, but do be aware that you are going to get some of this ink on your fingers and you are going to move it around. And then once I was finished my oxide coloring, or my oxide blending, I decided to bring in some shimmer. So here I have just some Perfect Pearls, and I've got it in a little mister bottle, and I'm just kind of flicking it on with the stem from the mister bottle. I found that this kind of works really well, so this is kind of what I've been doing. You could, of course, use any glitter and any paintbrush or any way to throw it on there. That's just how I opted to do it, but there are so many ways you could do this. That's just kind of how I decided to do it. And then I couldn't refuse bringing in a little bit more sparkle. So I did grab like a glitter pen, and I'm just kind of like throwing it on where the blue is on my snow, just to add a little bit more shine and make it a little more icicle-esque. That's not really a word, but to add just a little more glitter to kind of bring out some extra sparkle in this, because it is a fairly simple coloring, but I just thought that that would look really pretty. So I'm going to hold it up here and hopefully you can see it a bit. It's a bit hard to see the way that this is done, but at the end there. And I added some foam circles to the back just because I really wanted some dimension on this. So I did pop it up with some foam circles there on the back to add a little extra dimension to the card so that it kind of stood apart from the background. And I am going to mat this on a black piece of cardstock. That's how I roll. I mat everything. I love how it looks, especially colored cardstock. So I cut that down. And this is an A2 sized card. I have the mat at 1/8 of an inch smaller than my A2 sized base. And then my panel is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the black mat. So I just glued that down, lined it up. I like to eyeball everything that I line up, so it's not perfect usually, but it looks pretty awesome, I think. It turns out pretty good. So, and then I am going to glue this down to my white side fold A2 base using my same Nuvo Deluxe glue. This is my preferred liquid glue, but you could use anything. I mean, this is just what I have on hand, so it's kind of what I enjoy using, but by all means use whatever you have. So I'm going to glue that down, and then we're going to work on the sentiment as soon as this is centered to that card base. And my sentiment reads, I believe it's Merry Christmas, and I did cut it out in advance because, again, I printed it out with my inkjet printer. So I just cut it out and then kind of made it into a little strip and then added a little black cardstock underneath it, which is the same black as my black mat. So it kind of all ties it together a little bit. I just thought that looked kind of neat. Just like a really thin strip of black cardstock on the bottom there. You can see it as I flipped it over. And then I'm just going to, excuse me, I'm just going to line that up to the corner of the mat. And that's about what we're going to do with the sentiment. So I'm going to hold this up here in a sec so you can take a look and see if you can catch all that shine and shimmer. Sadly, it's a bit hard to catch on the camera, but in person it looks quite shiny. But yeah, so that is the card I have for you guys today. This was using the Joy Clair Santa's Favorite digital stamps, and I hope that you enjoyed the card. If you like this video, please leave it a like, leave it a comment, and consider subscribing. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you again soon.